Hey, what's going on, everybody? And thanks for tuning in to The List. It's a new podcast that I'm kicking off. The List, LISTT, and List stands for Life is Stories to Tell. And for a long time, that was just a phrase that I used. I'm not saying that I should copyright it or whatever else that I came up with it initially. I'm sure hundreds of people have said it, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's my key to millions. But it was something I would always say to the Marines when uh, giving them an example of something. I talk about something that I'd personally gone through. Talk about some adventures, diving, scuba diving, diving with sharks, things like that. And they would say, "Man, you have a lot of stories." And I would say, "Life is stories to tell. You have to get out there and live it. You have to live your life in order to have a story. It's like writing a book. You got to do the next chapter, and you got to make a chapter interesting." And that's where it kind of came from for me. So I'm so interested in so many other people's stories and I know there's so many out there that I wanted to do something about it, and so hence this podcast. And I had said I would get the first episode out on the 10th, and that was yesterday. And this might not be posted until a little bit later after editing and stuff. But point being is I'm behind, and I'm behind because I was dragging my feet, and I was dragging my feet because of the thoughts in my own head and fears that I had of failure. And today, scrolling through Facebook, like I said, and I'm glad I was, because a lot of times I could use that example and say I was scrolling through Facebook, and you could say, well, you were wasting your time on Facebook instead of working on your podcast or working on making something successful. And I was scrolling through, and I came across a post by Andy Frisella. He's the CEO of First Form. If you don't know him, you should follow him on Facebook and Instagram. But anyway, and I'm going to read his post word for word, so I'm not paraphrasing. But it said, "Are you scared shitless? Good. You're probably on the right track. When you stop feeling scared is when you need to start worrying." And I have felt scared because I feel like I've told a handful of friends and family members and everything else that I'm going to kick this off. And I felt like there's pressure on me for it to be good. So what am I going to do for the first episode? And a friend I've had for 24 years basically said, just do you. Just make it you. Do an introduction. And while I'm not going to do a big, big biography of myself and tell you all about me and do a list of accomplishments or whatever else, because that's not even needed, this first episode is going to be just me. And the story I want to tell you kind of all correlates with me being afraid, me seeing that today, and why I'm actually doing this today, all that kind of together. And it happened last week, a few weeks ago, whatever it was, during the Final Four. And during the Final Four, I was watching the Gamecocks play Gonzaga with my daughter, who recently got into basketball and played. She's 11, played on her first YMCA team, first year ever doing it. And I was proud of her because she went out there with some kids that grew up playing, and she's never played before, but she's willing to go all in. So because she's playing ball, I've taken her to the courts a few times. I've tried to show her some drills or whatever, and she's seen me shoot some threes, and I shoot from a further distance than her and whatever, and she's seen me hit a few shots. I mean, I can't ball. I ain't gonna say I'm a baller, but I'm no scrub either. So I hit a few shots, and anyway, we're watching the Final Four, and she's asking questions throughout. And towards the end of the game, she asked me, "Have you ever played in a game like this?" And so to clarify, I said, "You mean a game like this one on TV, like just like this one?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Goodness, no, babe. That's the Final Four. These are the top 4 teams in all of college basketball. These are some really good ball players." And she said, "Yeah, but you're really good. You could play in this game." And as flattering as that is, I know better. But at the same time, it kind of woke me up to make me understand at what level my daughter sees me. Now, all she's seen me do is shoot a few three-pointers, some free throws while I'm showing her to shoot free throws, dribble a little bit and run some drills with her. And from that, she thinks I'm good enough to play in the Final Four. And just the mind of a kid, man. Your kids view you on such a level I don't think you ever truly comprehend. until maybe they say something to you like my daughter did, and maybe it's a moment of clarity and epiphany, and you kind of realize, man, no matter what I do, I'm like a superhero in her eyes, And if you think about that, when you wind up doing something like, say, if you were to lose your temper, raise your voice, everything's compounded with your children. And all we can do as parents is hope that we're raising someone to become a good adult, a productive member of society as they become adults. There's so much they're going to learn on their own. There's so much that we try to teach them. And what we try to do is we try to make them better versions of ourselves by not letting them make the mistakes that we made. But sometimes they have to do that. There's so many variables that go into play. But all I wanted to tell you today on this opening story is my daughter making that statement to me, show me how she sees me, and to her, I can't fail. To her, I'm awesome at whatever I do right from the start. And I'd like for all of you to understand that too, those of you with kids, if you plan to have children, I know I did a lot of work in the Marine Corps thinking one day I want my kid to be able to look in the closet, see my dress blues, see the ribbons and medals and badges and whatever's on there. I want him to look at it and be proud of it. And I know that my daughter can look at my uniform. She's proud of that. That's just one glimpse of it, though. She's thinking that I'm good enough to be in the Final Four by me and her just going and shooting ball. So make sure you take that into everything you do with your kid, to know that stuff sticks with them, and they think you're amazing. So be amazing. Be amazing to those kids and raise a productive member of society. I want to thank Andy Frisella for your post today. Because I've been scared shitless because I don't want to fail. But if I look at it a different point of view, in my daughter's eyes, I've already got the top podcast on the market. This is the top video ever in her eyes, and that's all I got to worry about. I hope you guys will enjoy the show as we move forward. I really feel like you will, like you're going to. I do have some really good stuff planned. And although I was sweating on who was going to be my first guest, how should I kick off the first show, I think this is the simplest way to do it. And I want you to stand by for more, because it's going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't already, please go and follow on Facebook, facebook.com/LISTT, on Instagram at _LISTT, LISTT, it's 2 T's, and on Twitter at the LISTT PC. All right, so follow on all the social media things. I'm gonna be more active on putting stuff out there. And if you have a comment about a situation like this with your kids, if where they woke you up, please share it in the comments below. Make a quick little video like this and post a video down there for other people to see. Get some dialogue going. That's what I want. All right. Thanks so much for paying attention, for viewing this video. I appreciate everybody that's supported me so far, whether it's been a text message saying that they think I'll do well at this, or somebody that's already gone and liked one of the social media pages, whatever it might be. I really appreciate it. Thanks for everything. Stay tuned for more. Peace.